all set up and ready to go. So, today, we have a couple things to do. First of all, the end of last stream, I made a modular frame factory, but I never installed it anywhere. So that's going to be the first task, is to find literally any source of iron. I only need like, what is it, like 48? 48 iron ore. And I can make modular frames out of that. So let's see here. These are not... Okay, so that is impure. I need like a normal mine. That's already Mark II. So it looks like maybe the iron around here in the immediate vicinity isn't enough. So that means we're going to have to look at maybe this one. That's normal and impure. Okay. How about this one all the way over here? Oh boy, there's a car doing car things in the background. That's exciting. Alright, this is pure. And it is hardly being used at all. Alright, that's good. So let's see if we check. That's using 30, that's using 30. So this already has 60 available to work with, which is more than enough. So let's build us a nice pillar for this to go on. And oh, I just realized this is probably not going to be aligned properly to the grid. Let's see here. What does the actual grid look like? Yeah, let's take this down and rebuild it, but properly snapping it to the grid this time. Alright. And we need to set to 4-meter foundation. Maybe 2 of those up. And now we have this fun ladder, which is not how you're supposed to use ladders, but whatever. Let's get a nice, reasonable sized foundation. And this is probably just about good. Now we run over here to the back and put in a lookout tower so I can see what I'm doing when I'm placing the blueprint. That's very important. And alright, it does need to be a little bit bigger. I'll give it another 2 rows. Alright, so this side is the side with the inputs and outputs. So I guess we are going to want that to be facing that way, because that's where the actual miner is. So we have that in. Now we need to find a loose power pole. Drag over to have a couple of spare power poles. And then get that in there. And let's upgrade that to a Mark II belt. Take the iron onto the foundation and in. And then we get just a storage container. That's apparently too close. Move it out a bit more like that. Storage container. Dimensional depot. And boom. This can replace the old modular frame thing, so I can reclaim that dimensional depot. Once we test this, of course. Need to verify that this actually functions properly. Which shouldn't be too bad. Just gonna have to wait a little while, and while we wait for that to be testable, we can start looking at the other things we need. So we need steel beams. The steel beam blueprint shouldn't be too bad, although I am going to use an alternate recipe, which I recently unlocked, for better efficiency, which will make it a fair bit more complex, but it's pretty simple to begin with anyway, so I'm not worried about that. So let's go to the MAM and open this up and grab, where is it? Solid steel ingot, select. And probably not going to take molded beam, that seems unnecessarily complicated. Any of the rest of this stuff look interesting? Not especially. Not for now anyway. There's some good stuff in there, but not that we need currently. So now let's set up a steel beam factory, which will just be iron and coal. So let's get a foundry and see. So we need 40 and 40 for 60. And we need 60 for 15. So then we would need 40 iron ingots, which would be smelters. Alright, so this is probably going to be either a one-story or close to it. So all I need is 2 smelters feeding into a foundry, feeding into a constructor. Alright, so let's get some height. And right, it's easier to make this work when we have the input in to begin with. Alright, so we need a splitter, which I have in my hotbar, obviously. And we need 2 smelters feeding off of the splitter. Oh, this actually needs to be a 2-hole entry because we need coal. Which means we're going to have to tear all this down and shuffle it over very slightly. Alright, so we have the splitter feeding in to the first entry point. Then we have a smelter and another smelter. And that all hooks up. So those can be 20 each, because we need 40 total. Alright, then we take the outputs, we merge them together. Like that. And then we take the second input back here as well. So that's the coal. That's the iron. Alright, I think the foundry is going to need to turn over this way in order to make space. And this is solid steel, which gives me 60 steel ingots. And finally, just a simple constructor for steel beams. And that is all. That's all for this. So it's going to be a relatively short thing, which means we can just stack 2 of these on top of each other if we need 30. And so let's get the output wall. And let's see if we can figure out how to get the output in there properly. Alright. Just like that. Now we just build the walls all the way around. And we need to get a door in, which I guess the door can also be on this front wall. No reason for it not to be. Alright, then we are going to need... Yep, it's going to need to be 3 high. Build the walls out. And then we can put the ceiling on top. And we're going to need to hook power up to all the machines. And then this will be done. Almost there. No, not like that. Like that. Alright, then we just cover up that. And we get the power line in. We put one right by the belts so that it's easily visible. And see, those are all hooked up. Those are all hooked up. Everything is hooked up. Everything has the options selected. Easy peasy. So this is steel beams, and it is 40 iron or 40 coal to 15 steel beams. And we save that and we clear it. And now we need to find a spot with iron and coal. Although actually, the reason we're doing this is for versatile framework, which is modular frames and steel beams. So we're going to need to find a place with 100 iron and 40 coal so we can set up versatile framework production. So let's see where the nearest spare coal is, and there'll probably be iron nearby-ish because there's iron freaking everywhere in the desert. Alright, so there's some over there which I've already used. There's some up there. Yeah, let's head out east for this. And I guess we should check the actual modular frame factory to test to see if it works. Because if it doesn't work, then we're gonna have to redo it, and I don't want to have to redo it twice. Well, actually, if I have to redo it, I'll have to redo it twice, but I don't want to have to redo it 3 times. Once for this, once for the blueprint, and then potentially once for the versatile framework factory. Alright, so that's 100%. That's 100%. Aha! I've discovered a problem. This is at 89%. It's not getting enough iron ingots. That's 27 plus 21. Are these running at 100%? So those are 48 total. These are 21 plus 27, which should be 48 total. Wait, hang on. 21 plus... yeah, 48. So what is going wrong here? That's making 24. That's making 24. Is it just... It's going to be just a manifold thing, right? So this is 48. So we're getting 24 that way, 24 that way, which means 24 is not 27. And if these are getting 24, then they're getting 12 each, which means like basically no progress is being made in terms of filling the manifold. It's very, very slow. Alright, is there a way that I can fix that? Not really. If I had smart splitters, I could make that priority and then the manifold would fill faster. But as it is, it's just going to fill extremely slowly. Because if I make this priority, then it'll fill up at like a net of 21 per minute, which will take like 5 minutes to fill up completely. As opposed to these two, which are filling up at a net of like 1.5 a minute, which is going to take over an hour. But I don't have smart splitters currently, so I haven't unlocked them. And ultimately, it isn't technically not working. It's just going to take freaking forever to get set up. So am I fine with that, is the question. I guess it's probably not the end of the world. Which means that, yeah, this whole thing is going to be running at 89% because of the lack of iron plates. Alright. That's very annoying, but probably... is it worth going out of my way to research AI limiters to fix? Probably not. Or, well, it wouldn't really be going out of my way. It would, like, I should be doing that anyway. So let's get some AI limiters set up. That will be our next project instead of stators. Smart splitters are very useful. And I need to get up here to figure out what exactly I need. It's probably just quick wire to do the research. Alright, we got another hard drive scan. Oh no, we already have AI limiters researched. We need to actually get some, which is copper sheets and quick wire. Alright, let's set up an AI limiter blueprint. That'll be fun. So we need 2 inputs, so put that in. And then in terms of the stuff we need 25 copper sheets and 100 quick wire, which means 2 quick wire constructors and 3 copper sheet constructors. Alright. So 3 copper sheet constructors is going to mean 60 copper ingots. Or no, not quite 60, right? Because I need 25. So it'll be 50 copper ingots, which is 1-to-1 with the ore. And hang on, 100 quick wire would be 20 caterium ingots, which is not 1-to-1 with the ore. So if I want 20 caterium ingots, I'm going to need 60 caterium ore. AI limiters are going to be kind of tough. So to recap, we need 1 assembler. AI limiters. 1 assembler. That's not how you spell assembler. We need 2 constructors. Actually, would it be easier to underclock this? Yes, it would. So if I make this 4, that would cut it down to 2 copper sheet constructors. And 80 quick wire would be 16 caterium ingots, which would be 40 something. Alright, that's still a bit too much. So 3 would give us 1 quick wire constructor flat, which would be 60 quick wire per minute, which would be 12 caterium ingots, which would be 1 assembler, 1 smelter, which is easy enough, and 15 copper sheets would be 30 copper ingots, which would be 1 smelter for that. Alright, so to recap, we have an assembler, we have 60 quick wire, which is one constructor for quick wire, 1 quick wire constructor. We need 15 copper sheets, which is 1.5 constructors. Copper sheet constructors. And we need 1 smelter each. One copper smelter, one quick wire smelter. Alright. So let's get to work, not accidentally disassemble anything important. Alright. So first off, I think we will do the copper because it takes up the most space. And it feeds conveniently, no splitters required. It just feeds directly into a smelter. Which actually, do they fit? Just barely not. Okay. So we have our copper smelter, which feeds into a pair of constructors which can loop back around this way. Probably will work. I don't know. Let's get closer into C. Does that work? No, that's too close. Okay, so in that case, we just need to ship these back a little bit, like there. And now we should have plenty of space. Alright, so that is the copper smelted and turned into sheets. And merged up on the other end. There's no reason for that to be a merger. We could just have a merger there. Alright, so then now we just need the quick wire, which is a smelter, which is going to need to be squeezed in, but it does work. So we have Caterium smelter. Then it just needs a constructor. And can we fit this all on a single floor? That would be pretty cool if we could. Although I don't know how we're going to get the output out, but at least not on the same side. Yeah, okay. This is too cramped for a single floor, just barely. So let's build the wall up. And over. And then we put in these floor holes, which will be like there and like there, I guess. So then those can drop down and be fed in. Let's set these to the right numbers so that I don't forget later. There's the copper sheet set up. The quick wire needs 12. So that's that set up. That makes 30. These use 30. Yep. All right. First floor basically done except for power. up to the second floor, which is incredibly simple. Literally just an assembler, which, let's see, I want the output to be like over there in the bottom left corner, so I'm going to face the assembler like this, I guess. Doesn't really matter where it is. I'm never going to look at this. So now we just throw these belts in. And put the output wall in so we can see it. And is this going to work as the position for it? No, not really. There's that belt there is going to be in the way. So instead, if we have the output wall there, right next to the input wall, and by the way, I need to put that belt in there. That's important. So here, we can fit in a hole, bring the lift down and out. Now we just need to go up to the second floor and attach the assembler to that floor hole. And that will be AI limiters done once we get that. Which, yikes. Alright, so we actually need to move this slightly so that we have space for it to actually go into that hole. Let's have that lift in so we can see how it lines up. And those go in there. AI limiter. And we belt them out. We set this to 3. And now we just have to do the powering. Okay. We have that. We have that. We have that. That. I believe everything is hooked up. We just need this to be somewhere visible, like right there. And now we just need to put in the walls. Which honestly, like, I should just make a blueprint of like the empty shell so that I don't have to manually place the walls every time. I can just load that blueprint into the designer. That would be smart. I'm going to do that immediately once I'm done with this. Alright, is the first floor all sealed up? It does kind of stick out, but that's fine. I don't really care. Let's see, is this wall relatively clear? Put the door there. Alright, cool. First floor sealed up. Now we have to head up and do the second floor. Go. Alright, I just realized I need to actually be able to see what's going on in here. So now we put the walls in. And we are almost done. And now it's just the roof. Alright. That's all of that assembled. And we can knock out a wall, put a door in, and hop on out. The door isn't on the same side as the other door, but... Ooh, I fell. Please give me a ladder. Alright, so this is... What was this? AI limiter, right. AI limiter, and it's like 36 Caterium or 30 copper ore to 3 AI limiter. Save. Clear the designer. May as well take all that stuff. So yeah, let's create our empty shell blueprint. Which is just going to be an empty box with all the walls in. And that's 3 high. So once this is all put together, I won't have to worry about manually constructing it every time. So that is 3 high walls. Now we climb up to the top, put the second floor in, and another set of 3 high walls. And we need to put the walls in around the sides so that I can hopefully just do it all from here. And then we bring the ceiling in, and then we close up the front wall. And then we put doors in, basically wherever. So let's have the doors be right here in front of me. No, not conveyor entrances, people entrances. And now we hop down, and we can call this box shell. Save it, clear it. And that's that. Alright, so now we need to figure out where, if anywhere, we have spare Caterium and copper. So we have that Caterium over there, which I don't think I'm using most of. I don't know if there's copper near it, though, which would be the problem. Alright, the next nearest Caterium is way up there, or a cluster down there. Alright, then where is the nearest unused copper? We have a used copper right there. There's some down there. Alright. So based on that ping, it seems like the closest place with both copper and Caterium is to the south, which I have not been ever. So let's head along this way. And my future plans will make, like, I'm going to just be transporting resources in and figuring out the locations to build stuff won't be needed, but I think I'm probably going to do that with trains, so I'm going to have to wait for a little while for that. Where was that copper? Directly this way. Let's head on over. Alright, so there's the copper. And we can grab some of this. And we need to make more... Not crafting bench, equipment workshop to make some portable miners. Let's craft a good couple of these. 6 will be more than enough, of course. So let's get our Miner Mark II in. And power it up. Now we scan again for the Caterium to see how far that is. Hopefully not that much further. No, it's a fair ways further. Okay. And it's going to be this way. Almost a kilometer. Which means I get to run really long belts to it. Yay! What fun. Can't wait until I have trains to accumulate all the Caterium in the world and just bring it all to one spot. Alright. So this area is all poison gassed and awful. So we're going to have to blow the way through here. Give me this. And that. Hello. Thank you for the follow. Go too close. I'm doing pretty good. Currently setting up an AI limiter factory, which requires getting Caterium, which is why I'm out here. Okay. Do another scan. Alright, there it is. Streaming is going pretty well. Oh wait, no, that's not Caterium. That's just random iron. Okay. The actual Caterium is a little bit further. Boy, fully grown hogs. Very glad to be in passive mode. Alright. Alright, Caterium, where are you? Just slightly over this way. Are you going to be like in a cave or something? Please don't be in a cave or something. I mostly play Satisfactory and Magic Arena. Currently playing Satisfactory, obviously. I play Magic Arena every other day when I'm not doing this. Where is that Caterium? It should be, like, right on top of me. Yeah, it's going to be in a cave somewhere underneath this. Hey, I'm fairly certain you're going to try to sell me some stuff, and based on the way you're talking. So if that's the case, you can please leave. Alright. Yeah, I remember this place. The Caterium is definitely in a cave somewhere. So let's try to figure out where exactly that cave might be. So we can drop down here, have that ladder to get us back up if we need to. And yep, poison gas. And this looks like a cave. I blew up most of the mycelium, which was a mistake. I need
The fruit of
this.
this fungus-like flora does not seem to show much potential for use. However, its mycelial network is worth further investigation. Research it in the MAM to establish classification and potential application.
Alright. The Caterium should probably be down here somewhere. Are you sure this isn't like a place where Sam is? This is a crazy big cave. There's a Mercer sphere in here. Alright, cool. There's the Caterium. So let's drop down to here. And get this out. So we're going to need to lift it up a ways. And I guess it'll be for the best to get all of it out at once rather than have to come back here like 15 separate times. So we're going to be using Mark III belts for this. So now we have to bring this belt up this passageway through the cave. And continue bringing it up. And continue bringing the power up. And continue bringing it up till eventually we find a way out. It should be this way, probably. This is probably the way towards the exit. Although it might just simply not be. Yeah, okay, look up there. So I bet there's an exit up here. It might not be, but I would be surprised. Yep, no, this is the way I came in. Cool. So we are going to need to lift the belts up and bring the power up. And then realize that I haven't been using Mark III belts this whole way. So that's going to cause a bit of a problem. But we got it out, so now we can power it on and head north east-ish towards the copper. Alright, there's a huge pack of copper over there. Not finding the one that I was using, but it's fine. We know it's to the north of this. So we could just head on up there. And let's pick up some more mycelia while we're here. It's going to be important for like the parachute, mainly the parachute. And some other things as well, like gas masks. Alright, you go up there. And through this tiny little channel here, I guess. And now we need to start making our way east-ish, I think. Let's scan and see if we can find the copper that we were using. Yes, it is this way. Alright. Can you please get up there? So now I can climb up using the belt. And then bring that back down. And down that way. Scan for the precise location of the copper again. And where is it? It's right there. Apparently by a billion other copper nodes. Which is fine. Don't really plan on using most of those copper nodes, but at least they exist. So let's make sure to get out over empty space. And then drop the ladder down. And then drop the conveyor lift down. Alright, probably should have actually used the ladder, but whatever. So now we just need pretty much all flat terrain from here, or flat-ish at least. And where is it? Is it that way? Yep. Just a little bit further over here. And we can set up our AI limiter factory. And this is going to take forever to get online properly because we're going to need this belt to make it all the way. There's another reason I was intending to use Mark III belts, but we forgot about that, so here we are. So now we get foundations set to 4 meter vertical. Get a good chunk of height. Build the ladder up. Which, will this ladder get me high enough? It will. So stop holding explosives when you don't need to. Thank you. And build out the foundation here. Something like that will be probably more than enough. So now we can get altitude to actually place the AI limiter blueprint, which... Did I mess this up? I'm just gonna... Alright, no. Okay, that was a double entrance. It just didn't really look like it. Alright, so then we get the storage container in there. The dimensional depot on top of it. The conveyor lift between them. Power line. Hook that up. Now we just need to figure out... Alright, the copper is the near one. So we take the belt of copper. Get it up and on. And in. Then we have this one, which similarly get it up and on. And apparently iron plate shortages are a thing now because of how much belts I've made. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Alright. So now once the Caterium finishes its massive journey, we will have a steady supply of AI limiters, which will allow us to research and utilize smart splitters once we get them. Now I guess the next thing I'm going to do is head back and start making this a tier 3 belt, because it is going to take it should accelerate things a lot, both in like getting this set up and also so that in the future I have more Caterium to work with for other projects. Actually, nah, it doesn't really matter. I'll deal with that later. Like, I don't really need that much Caterium, and I'm planning on major transport systems, so this work will all be redundant pretty soon anyway. So we'll just call that good. And eventually we will have that. So the next thing I need to do is find a spot with coal and iron, which is going to be probably over here by my other coal setup. So let's make our way over this way. Find some coal and some iron so we can set up a modular frame blueprint and a steel blueprint to make flexible frameworks. How's that going? Encased industrial beams are looking great. Reinforced iron plates are looking not great, but fine. coal is certainly being used. Alright, so there's iron there. And how much iron do I need? I think I need like 100. So impure isn't going to be enough. So let's get on over here where the coal is and do a scan for iron. Alright, so this is a single normal coal, which is probably being fully used or close to it. But there's other coal right over here. And I think I need 40 of it. Yeah, so this is enough coal. If that is normal, it'll be enough iron. And it's pure. Alright, cool. So let's set up to get this. Alright, miner Mark II, facing that way. Okay, I have the power line powered up. Oh, and I did unlock Power Pole Mark II at some point. That's helpful. Have to keep that in mind. That's going to be more than enough coal. And likewise, this is going to be more than enough iron. So let's go vertical mode. Build a nice big old tower and a ladder up it. Nice. So now we zoop, and this is going to be 2 blueprints and another machine, so we are going to need a fair amount of space here. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 wide, which would in theory be enough if we squeezed it in. Now it's 7 wide. It's also like 9 or 10 long, which again would potentially be enough if we squeezed it in, but I'm going to give it a bit of extra space just to be sure. We're unfortunately going to have to restock on concrete. So this doesn't need to be as long as it is. Alright, so now we get back here. We put a tower up. And we're probably going to have to just wait for supplies to show up, but we can try. Yeah, missing iron plates times 156. And so that's the front of the steel beams. And I want it facing like that, I think. So we can use that extra space to the right for the final production. Alright, so the steel beams are in. And we're going to need to bring the iron and the coal up to that. Which means we need more portable miners. So let's put an equipment workshop down. And these require iron plates. So we're gonna have to leave and come back with a stack or 2 of iron plates. Because like this is never gonna work as it is. Alright, so then you come up onto the foundation. And you get a fun little power pole. And hook it up. Alright, the hub is this way, so let's go and grab some plates and concrete. Plates because we've already ran out, and concrete because we're almost certainly about to run out. And also, I think probably we need to grab something for the dimensional storage. Although, no, we don't need that for this, because this is a space elevator part. So we're not going to be storing it, we're just going to be bringing it eventually over to the space elevator. Like, there's no need to permanently have versatile frameworks just on hand at all times. So let's get over to the hub and grab some parts. And we continue making our way over. So once we overhaul this and set up our new, like, our permanent factory mega base type thing, we're going to be able to, like, upgrade all of these into... We're going to basically, like, cut everything off and use, like, essential storage, so we'll be way more efficient about using our miners completely. So that will be nice. Now let's see if I can find my way back over there. And we've tested the modular frames. We have not tested the steel beams blueprint, so we'll have to keep an eye out for that. Also, I haven't looked at how many I actually need for a recipe. If it's a lot, it might be a problem. Also, where are we headed? It's over here. Yeah, okay, I see it off in the distance. Can't wait until I have a nice fancy mega base. Everything will be nice and concentrated, and there will be no need to walk across the desert for ages. Also, I wonder how that AI limiter setup is going. I wonder if it's started yet. I wonder if it works properly. If it doesn't work properly, it'll be ages before I know. Alright, so let's check how many steel beams per minute I actually need for the frameworks. Preferably 30. So that would be... This is like 40 and 40, right? So that would be 80 and 80 for just that alone. I don't know. I haven't done the math to know if that's possible here. It should be. We're gonna have to tear down the lookout tower to make space. And also that belt is in the wrong spot. So this comes around. And wait. No, that's the wrong one. So this is a steel beam. I need to label this. I really need to label which entrances are which. Alright, so... Because the close one is close because it has an additional step. done it wrong twice in a row. That goes in there, because that's the iron. This goes over and in, because that's the coal. And we need to power this up as well. So let's get you... I thought I did this already. I might be losing my marbles. But that should be that all set up. And we should now be making steel beams. So let's check our assembler. So Versatile Frameworks is 30 steel beams, which is 2 batches of that, and 2.5 modular frames, which is more than 1 batch of that. Okay, so we are going to need... We can set this to 4. That'll be much easier. It'll save a ton. So we need 24 steel beams a minute, which will be 40 times 24 over 15, I think. Times 24 over 15. 64 coal and iron. 64 coal, 64 iron for the steel beam part. And then the modular frames, to get 2 would be another 48 iron. 64 plus 48 equals 112 iron and 64 coal. So we can do this. We can do that setup. That works. And what we're going to need to do is, first of all, verify this is... yeah, okay, that's plenty. Upgrade this to 120. And upgrade this to 64, which I believe it can handle. Right? Is this going to be producing 120? Yes. Alright, so then we upgrade this to there, to there, and then finally down to there. Okay, so we need to, I guess, figure out how to stack these. So these are short. The steel beams one is shorter than normal, which makes it slightly easier to stack. But, alright, we can do blueprint snap mode. That works pretty well. And we place that in. Now we just need to split off of those. And bring that up and in. And then for the output, we need to actually make the output belt first. It's going to go something like that. And then up. And so then we have a merger there. Which goes up to approximately on level. And then in. And we need to power up this so that can hook up to that. Alright, we have successfully done something that vaguely resembles stacking blueprints. I'm going to have to think harder about how exactly to get them to stack properly in the future. But for now, we need to drop down a modular frame blueprint. Like something like that. And then modular frames takes more iron. So we split this off again. And this is a very silly way to have done this, but whatever. And we take the power pole, we bring it outside, hook it up to that. And then we take the steel beams, bring them down here and in there. And modular frames in there. And we power that up. And it can feed into a storage container. Just a regular storage container, no need for dimensional storage on this. Alright, let's now see if this is working properly. Got 100% here. Yep. Looks good to me. And see, everything checks out in terms of speeds. This is getting 60. All right. It is going to have to manifold a little bit until these fill up. You can have some of the spare. Because currently this is getting 60 when it's supposed to be getting 48. Which means these are getting 60 when they're meant to be getting 80. So, not fully 100% efficient, but also not exactly a major problem. Like, it'll fix itself relatively quickly. I hope it'll fix itself relatively quickly anyway. And then, once it does, then it can get to work properly. Modular frames still, the amount of like intermediate steps in the modular frames is a lot, so it'll take a while for that to even start. But speaking of taking a while to even start, we have AI limiters. You love to see it. So let's go to Caterium, grab some reinforced plates. We need those for this, apparently. And smart splitter unlocked.
Smart splitter
All right.
unlocked. The smart splitter offers advanced settings that can improve conveyor belt logistics.
What other things do we want to unlock? Mycelia. Mycelia is the next one. Let's do that. And we are just short of unlocking
The
fabric.
mycelial networks of these fungi possess unusually
That's
resilient
fine, we won't worry
hyphae,
about
which
that
show potential
for
for
now.
making a strong but lightweight natural fabric.
Alright, now.
Additionally,
I think we've got
it has
everything. Let's
similar
start
medicinal
doing
and
another
pest control
man.
applications to mycelia on Earth.
Speaking of which, what do we have here? We have iron wire is potentially a useful one. We have encased industrial pipe, which frankly would be more useful if I hadn't already figured out, if I didn't already make a base recipe blueprint. I don't think it's worth setting up a whole new thing for it. Alright, so the next thing we need are the whatchamacallits, the last project part for phase 2, which we need stators and cable for. And once we're done with phase 2, I'm going to basically start like almost from scratch with the mega base plan. Once I have trains is I think going to be the thing. Trains and also fuel generators will both make building larger much easier. And basically the plan is we're going to have trains bring every resource, like raw resource, into its own special storage location, and then all of our factories can pull from those storage locations or from each other depending on how complex they are. And that will basically let things be a whole lot less wasteful with I have a lot of factories which are not fully using their resource nodes, and it's just too much hassle to go in and distribute it everywhere perfectly. But with that, I can just keep a tally of the total amount of each resource that we have access to, and it'll work. So let's set up stators, which is steel pipes and wire. Alright, I have... Wait, there's a man right over here, right? So I believe I have the iron pipes recipe. Yeah, so I have iron pipes and iron wire. So let's take those two. Iron pipes, iron wire. Nothing else here seems super exciting. So let's... Okay, so this is stators, so we need 15 steel pipes and 40 wire. 15 pipes, 40 wire. And these are both just constructor recipes, right? So let's get a couple of constructors in. Iron wire, iron pipes. So I would need 2 constructors of this and 22 iron ingots. 22.2 iron ingots for wire. 2 constructors. And then the pipes, I need 15 of, which would be 60 iron ingots. 4 pipes, 1 constructor. So then I would need 82. So that's 82.2 iron ingots, which would be 3 smelters. And I don't have... There's no more efficient ingot recipe that I have currently. I could do iron alloy ingot, but that would just make it so much more complicated. Bring in copper to everything. Whereas, like, this is just like a one-to-one thing. So I can bring in one resource, 3 smelters, 3 constructors, and an assembler. This should fit pretty easily, I think. So, wait, actually, first, we clear all this out and we load up the empty shell. Load box shell. Alright, let's tear those 2 spots out. Both, one of them so that I have that, and then this one will be the door that I actually use for this one, at least temporarily. Alright, so I need 3 smelters, which means I'm going to need a line of splitters. Alright, so that's 1 in. One, 2, 3 smelters. And we fit this all in barely. So that's 30, that's 60. That one gets to be 22.2 and a bunch of decimal points. Let's round it up to 74.1%. No, 74.1%. 22.23. Alright, so now we have the iron ingots. And we can merge them all up with a single merger here. Don't know what I'm going to do with it, but... Alright, iron ingots, check. Now we just need to fit in a constructor and a batch of 2 constructors. Alright, so we need a splitter. And alright, so this can do the pipes at 15. And then we need a batch of 2 constructors and room for the floor holes. So maybe like there, and it doesn't quite fit. Maybe there is going to be room facing this way. Alright, so then we have a splitter there. Which doesn't quite work. So we need to fit... Maybe if we move that splitter even closer in, like that. Will that be close enough for this to work? Yes, it will. And then those go into there. And that goes into there. Okay. And this is going to be like 80, so this belt in here, this tiny little belt, needs to be Mark II. The rest of this is fine. And then these are iron wire. And set to, what was it, 20 each. Alright, then we just need to get them out with a merger facing that way. Stick the belts in. Okay, now we just put the floor holes in. And that doesn't quite line up properly, but it lines up enough. And hopefully same thing here. Not quite. So this one is going to have to be slightly off-center on its foundation. Alright, so we have the iron ingots, we have the steel pipes, we have the wire. Now we just have to go up to floor 2. And yeah, get up to floor 2 with the door. And I'm going to have to trick jump in because it's in a blueprint designer, so I can't put ladders on the outside. Alright, didn't quite get it. Alright, we're in floor 2. And I can't remember which is which. But that's fine. I should have put the exit hole in first. Looks like this is a good spot for it. So we're gonna have that there, which then makes me want to put that there. And that there. Alright, so now we have the exit hole. Now we can put the assembler in, and this will be done. Oh, I missed it completely somehow. I feel like a key got stuck there or something. Alright, can't quite get in. We need a better way of accessing the top floors, and it's probably going to be like an internal thing. So that's the exit hole. Those are the 2 entry holes. So let's just have it like facing that way. Those can be straight belts going in. And what was it doing? Stators, right? Alright, so we have that. Now we just take that around, and it didn't quite line up properly, but it lined up close enough. So now we take the power line out from the top side and down into the bottom. And we start hooking things up. And we have to make sure not to accidentally run out of connections like we just did, as I said it. But that's fine because I have Power Pole Mark IIs. So now everything is lined up. And we can have a nice, convenient power pole there, I guess. Probably not necessary. We can see the main actual useful one. And now we run around here. And how much is this? 82.23 iron for how many stators? It's just one batch. 5 per minute. Stators. Don't spell it wrong. 82.222 repeating. Iron ore to 5 stators. And we save that. And we clear it. And we take the resources back. Alright, so then the last thing we need is technically cable. Which I guess we can do. It's very much trivial though. I should switch the box shell to have the default layout like this. Alright, let's get I guess probably want to see how much we can actually fit into this. So we need 60 wire for 30 cable. And there's no reason to use iron wire here, just regular wire would be fine. So let's get a couple of smelters in. So that gives us 60 copper ingots. Which we can merge up into, give me a constructor. Alright, so we could do 4 off of this and get like a full 60 cable out of it, I think. So let's do that. So we have 60 copper ingots. So we can get 120 wire out of that. So we just need to fit in a line of 4 constructors. And enough room for the exit stuff. Alright. Apparently 4 constructors is one too many. So, in order to fix that, we can have it be 2 batches of 2, probably. let's get the exit hole in and work around that. So ultimately, all the copper is going to go up that belt to the next floor. And we have all this space to fit 4 constructors in. So let's try getting one in there. So yeah, if we do 2 sets of 2, we can save the space on that, on like having that merger. Right, so is there any way we can get that smelter closer? Not really, no, that's about as close as they go. Okay. Alright, what if we have 2 constructors facing this way? Not unaligned like that. Thank you. Two constructors facing this way, which are split like that and that off of that. And there is definitely enough space for belting them around. And then we need, maybe we could do it like offset, like one there, one there. So that can split into those 2. And the question is, can we get all of these to one spot? And we can. I believe we have that merger facing that way. That. We have that, which will be a lot better straight, I think. No, please. Straight. Thank you. And then we get around here. So that's going to be 60 wire, which means it can be a Mark 1 belt. Alright. The final... Getting them together is going to be tricky. And in fact, it might be easier to just send them up as 2 separate belts. Yeah, that's going to be much more straightforward to do. So get that down there. And looks like that's connected. So then we can put that up there, and does that then connect in? No, it has to be like slightly over like that, I think. Okay. So now we have 2 separate belts heading up to the 2nd floor. And we just need to set all the recipes. And all of these are set to wire. And the good news is that this is load balanced, right? So that's convenient. So now we just have to make our way up to floor 2. And just set down 2 more constructors. Which, doing it like that is incredibly silly. Let's have them back here. And feed that into that. Feed that into that. You make cable, you make cable. So now we get 60 cable, and we just plop down a merger. Although, I think this is going to have to exit out the back, probably. We need to figure out where the empty space is for the exit here. It might be here. This might be the spot for it. Yeah, let's call this the spot for it. So you're not a wall anymore, you're a conveyor wall. And you get a conveyor lift hole. And you feed out there. Now we just need to make a new door right next to it. Get back up to the top level. Get in here. Now I just need to get that in. Have this go all the way around for no particular reason. And down. Alright, so now we have everything set up except for power. So we grab that. And we come down here. And pop the power line in there. I make that Mark II. We'll save a lot of work. Alright. Then we have that. And I believe everything is all powered up. And so this is 60 copper ingots to 60 copper ingots to 60 cable, is I believe the ratio. Cable, 60 copper ore to 60 cable. Alright, so that is that. Now we can... Oh, I just realized my stator setup is pure iron. So I could have made the cable setup pure iron as well, and then not have to find a place with iron and copper. So I guess that was a silly thing to do, but whatever. Alright, doing the scan. And actually, while we're here, how much of those do I need? 2.5 stators, 50 cable. Okay. It's not too many of either, right? That's stators, yeah. So we're going to be able to just have one blueprint of each, and then that'll be fine. So let's scan for copper again. And we're going to need 80-ish iron. And no, we're going to need 80-ish iron, a little more than that to be sure. And then like, what was it? 60 copper. Technically 50 for the cables, but I want to have some spare. And wait, actually, alright, I need to get the resources for dimensional storage because I don't currently have state ores in the dimensional storage, and I'm going to be producing conveniently twice as many state ores as I need for the wiring thing, which means I will be able to just split them off into a box. Won't even need to use a smart splitter for it. Although I have smart splitters now, so that's nice. And I've fallen. And back up onto this foundation. Ooh, we got cast screw. That's fun. Let's run another research. Grab a couple stacks of that. And do some manual crafting. We are once again running low on Mercer spheres, which means there's no reason to make more than 20 of that because we're just going to run out of Mercer spheres first anyway. So let's head over here to the AI limiter factory, pretty sure that's what that is, and see if we have some spare copper and also if there's iron nearby. Also, we can check if it's working properly, which I have not done yet. Alright, AI limiters. Are you working properly? Where's the door? Door's around back here. And I'm seeing 100%, but I'm also seeing a backlog forming. For you at 100%, yes. Alright, let's look at the top level. Where's the door up there? Where is the door to the top floor? Is there not one? Did I not put a door to the top floor in this blueprint? Huh. That's weird. Alright, well let's poke a hole. Bring a ladder up there. And climb in. And you're at 100%. You're using 15 copper sheets a minute and 60 quickwire a minute. So let's put this door in while I'm here. You're using 15 copper sheets a minute. So why is there a backlog? That's 7.5. That's 7.5. There shouldn't be a backlog. I'm going to assume that it took a while for Caterium production to get properly set up for some reason, and that is just a consequence of that. Alright, so what I was here to check, actually, is this. So it's using 30 copper ore a minute, which is hardly anything. So if there is a decent supply of iron around here, that should be a decent supply of copper. Which, like, where is the front? Alright, so this copper is 120 a minute and it's using 30, so that's plenty. Now for the million-dollar question, is there iron? Oh, there is. We seem to be right in the middle of a giant pack of iron, actually. And pure nodes, too. Alright, so we have the iron, we have the copper. We need to bring power to the iron. Like that. Okay, don't do straight mode for no reason. Alright, the iron is up on the foundation. Now we just need to set down the blueprints and actually get up there ourselves. That would be handy. And we need to upgrade this to Mark II so that we can split off some of it. Split it off there. And we'll only split off 60, so we only need 60. Alright, so we have the iron here, which is going to need to be Mark II belts because it's 80 of it. We have the copper there. We just need to build a couple more blueprints out, and then we'll have the fancy wiring stuff. Alright, so that is theoretically enough space for both. In practice, we're going to need a bit more just for, room between them. And so there's the copper. Let's get our cable blueprint in. And something like that. Leave a bit of a gap between them. And we belt it in. And that should be cable set up. Then the next step is stator, which we need iron plates to build it, which I'm going to run back and grab. See, I need to improve my dimensional storage for a number of reasons. And we need to collect a ton of Mercer spheres so I can upgrade the amount it can store, and more importantly, probably the speed at which it fills up, so that we don't have situations like this where I have to run back anyway. Alright, so iron plates, wire. That's cable. That's concrete, which I'll grab a couple stacks of. Rods and screws. Is this the iron plates over here? No. Is this the iron plates? Yes, this is the iron plates. Grab a couple stacks of those. And now we make our way back over here. And our next... Let's see. I don't really want to tear all of this stuff down. but I'm probably going to end up disconnecting all of this for the mega base, but I'm probably not going to tear it down, so I'll just have it like, I'll have the mega base higher up in the sky, I think, which makes sense just to avoid terrain as well. Alright, so now we're up here. We get another lookout tower in. We climb up. We have blueprints, stators. And just like that. Right, now let's find the iron to bring into that. So it's going to come through this little alleyway. And out there and in. So we also need to power line these guys up. Alright, so now we have that. We have the stators, we have the cables. First thing we need is a splitter here. And then we can squeeze in... Can we squeeze in a storage container like there? Yeah, probably. And a depot on top of it. Okay, so this is going to have to come around that. Like so. So then that will fill up the dimensional depot with stators. And then finally we just take down that. And just right here, probably, in between the two, we have an assembler. And we have that. And can this get over? Can. And automated wiring. And we power it on. And we just have to feed it into a box and then figure out why things aren't working. Ah. There's the problem. I'll fix that. Alright, so we're going to have to fix that in the final thing. We're going to have to fix that in the blueprint. Okay. It looks like somewhere in here we round up with Mark 1 belts again. Which we're going to have to upgrade. Alright. So then that should be good to go. So we're getting 5 stators a minute, which is twice as much as this needs. And we're getting 60 cable, which is a little bit more than that needs. So all things together, we are good to go on producing automated wiring. once it actually gets there. Obviously. Probably not going to be running at 100% at the moment. Let's check. Alright, I guess I can walk through that door. This is backlogging. Why is this backlogging? Because it, too, is not hooked up to anything in particular. Alright, so we're going to need to make a couple edits to the cable blueprint, just in terms of things not being connected properly. But that is connected, and we'll see, I'm fairly certain that is connected as well. That door is being weird. We're just gonna leave that be for now. Alright, it's getting cable. It's getting stators. We are now making automated wiring. It's not the fastest process in the world, but it is happening. So let's head back to the blueprint designer and fix those errors in the cables. Alright. We have a ladder over here. So up we go. And load cable. And the fixes are quite simple. That just goes into there. And that goes into there. And now we save the changes. Confirm. And clear it. Alright. So we have smart plating is being belted in to the space elevator. We have frameworks and automated wiring being sent into boxes, which I will eventually just carry into the space elevator once we have enough of it. So now let's do some hub upgrades, because we are pretty far behind on them, honestly. Like there are a bunch that I could have done ages ago that I haven't done. So let's get +3 inventory slots. And all we need is wire, reinforced iron plates, and rods. Blunk, 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 blunk. Alright, let's go grab another stack of wire and rods. Chunk. Chunk. And this is mainly for the +3 inventory slots, of course. Don't actually really need the Xeno Basher because we're on passive mode.
The Xeno Basher is a direct upgrade from the Xeno Zapper. In the words of the engineer that first developed this tool, quote, "The Zapper kind of electrocutes things, the Basher straight up smacks stuff, while also electrocuting them," unquote. It is beneficial during encounters with aggressive fauna and has been tested thoroughly.
Alright, so the next thing we can unlock
noble sacrifice
this
for Xeno
easily.
research will not be forgotten, whoever they were.
And that easily as well. Alright. So the rest of these unlocks should be trivial. We have all the resources needed for them in stockpiles. Doing some more hard drive scans. We are now out of hard drives to scan once this last one finishes. So let's see. For this, we're going to need 2,000 wire, 200 modular frames, and we can just get all of those pretty easily. 200 modular frames. Please, I'm lost. 200 wire, and then encased beams and some other stuff, but trivially small quantities of them. Steel beams, encased beams. So once the hub upgrade returns in a minute, we can do that instantly. And then I guess we could, like, belt the project parts back, but, like, we could do that. Don't really see the point. It would make it easier to see how exactly we're progressing on them. But I'll just check up every so often to see how they're going. Still, lots of stuff to do. Gotta collect more hard drives, collect more Mercer spheres primarily. Alright, the pod is almost returning. And there it comes. You know, maybe I'm dumb, but I just realized that that pod is the same thing that's at all the crash sites. So that's what that is. Alright, so let's chuck some of these in and send it off again.
Milestone reached. After several pioneers started exhibiting traumatic responses
Finally,
to power
hypertube, you just need
blackouts,
copper
Fixit
sheets,
developed
steel
mitigation
pipes.
tools recommended by your local therapist. Power storages can hold excess power to delay or prevent blackouts in the eventuality that your factory's power consumption exceeds production. To simplify, these are
And
rechargeable batteries. Power towers carry
more
power
case beers, but
lines
I
for
already have
significantly
those.
greater distances than poles, facilitating factory expansion and exploitation of this environment for the good of Fixit and humanity.
Actually, let's see. Max consumption is currently above power production. So that's a wee bit worrying. But I think we're going to just hope that doesn't become a problem. We can put down batteries, I guess. There's no reason not to. Let's get some space over here for batteries. And they're 100 wire each, so let's grab a couple stacks of that. And let's get a spot for our lookout tower. So we get up here, and we're just going to spam down a bunch of batteries. Alright, there's no fancy alternate modes for these, unfortunately. So we're just gonna stick down a bunch of them. They can go pretty tight together. Not super worried about getting this exact. Like, the odds that this ever actually does anything at all are quite slim. And frankly, even if they do something, like, will they even be enough? Also, probably not. So let's not worry about it too much. Let's get the batteries all hooked up. 5, 6. 6, and just barely need one more. Whoops. Alright, well, whatever. And then hook that up to that. And our power network should now have a ton of storage. Cool. So now that storage will store. And hopefully the storage plus the excess we have currently will last us through to fueled power, where we can really get some stuff done. And fuel power should give us enough power to not have to worry about it for a long time. Like most of the rest of the game, off of not a horribly complex setup. Alright, so the pod returns in a minute. And then we can send it off again to unlock hypertubes. And with them, hypertube cannons. Which will, at this phase of the game, not use a small amount of power. So I'm probably going to use them pretty sparingly, hypertube cannons, for now. But as soon as we get fuel power and we have a ton, then oh boy. So yeah, time until full, like 4 hours. That's a lot of time. Alright. The guy is showing up. Alright, now we can dump these guys in and send it off. We've now done all the hub unlocks for the phase.
By adding hypertube entrances at both ends of hypertubes, pioneers can achieve two-way travel between locations. They are also % safer than jump pads. You dreamed of moving across factories like valued resources, such as rocks and water, and Fix-It listened to your dreams. We watched them. We took extensive notes. Hypertubes. Because Fix-It makes pioneers' closely monitored dreams come true.
Alright, so now we have all of that. We are pretty much mostly waiting on space elevator part productions. Let's go find some hard drives. So let's see, I need to pull up the map to figure out where to go. Alright, let's head south for our hard drives. Seems like a significant quantity of hard drives to the south. So I just realized this entire time I thought that was south, but that's actually west. My sense of directions is as terrible as usual. So we head down this way. And wait. There's one there, but that requires computers, which I don't have. Actually, speaking of stuff that I don't have, I do actually have a stockpile of previous crash site loot. So I should go pick that up. Because that is what will... that'll help me get, like, I'm pretty sure I have some computers in there. Alright, so let's grab some motors, some of that, some of that, some of that, some of that, some of that. Don't need any of... I have access to all of these, including stators now. So let's head off now. Command finished. I don't have another hard drive to put in, but I can look to see what I got. Fused wire, quick rise stator, neither of those are exciting. Oh, and I need to clear some junk out of my inventory. Or I'm going to be leaving boxes everywhere. Alright, so give me that cable. And off we go. So the closest one is actually east of me. So I'll go over and pick that up. Yeah, we're just going to spend the last 40 minutes of the stream picking up hard drives so that we can have more alt recipes for future purposes. Alright, still not quite there. It's a bit further than it looked on the map. So this is the lake, and there's one to the north of it, and one to the east of it. Actually, both of them are east of it, but one's northeast and the other one's like southeast. Alright, so the crash site is right over here. Should be. Yep, there it is, on top of that weird double arch thing. So let's get a ladder up. Alright, there we go. And we climb up. Alright, so this needs computers, which I have a couple of. Now that I have a hard drive, I can get the MAM running. And then there's another one which just needs reinforced iron plates, which is south of this. Any good loot here? Nope. Pretty terrible loot. There's a Mercer Sphere over there. I do need those. I'm gonna go and get it. Alright, so we get over here. We make this jump. And we grab this Mercer Sphere. Then we need to head pretty much directly south. Oh. I'm fine. Alright, now we need to get out of this whole area. Just because it's preventing me from getting south easily. Now we have run down this way and find our next hard drive down there on the beach. Should be... Oh, it's a bit further south. Alright. Let's get down without taking unnecessary damage. That should be enough. That... Okay. Is it explodable? It kind of looks explodable, but it also really doesn't look explodable. Alright, where are you? Hard drive. Should be somewhere around here. Alright. Altitude of -15, eh? Alright. Time to find a cave in the walls. And let's head back here just to see if that was actually explodable. I assume that nothing is going to happen with this. Yep. So now I just need to find the entrance to the cave where this hard drive is. Which doesn't really make sense, because hard drives should be falling from the sky, so how it got into a cave, who knows? Now this is probably not it. Gotta look. It is a Mercer sphere. Alright, grab that.
Harvest the scripture. Compose it into a blood song.
Alright. Cave, where are you? And I'm not even sure that the cave is going to be on this cliff face. It might be a hole in the ground above. With another pile of rubble. That one could, I suppose, be... It's obviously hiding a power slug. There could also be a cave entrance in here. I doubt it, though. Yep, there isn't. I'll grab the slug at least. Oh, is it this? Yeah, it's this. It wasn't even there. It was just further out into the ocean than it looked like at first glance. Alright, use reinforced iron plates, get a hard drive. That's not encased industrial beams. That's a reinforced iron plate. Okay. Interesting. Okay, now we need to head even further south into the swamp. Because there are a bunch in there, and boy, the swamp is going to be so much nicer this time around, now that I do not have to fight all of the horribly dangerous inhabitants. Okay. Give me a Mercer sphere while I'm passing through.
Our instruments echo in the deep. Do they not block the shallow threads?
Can you hear me?
It's like this way.
Crescendo, the effigy found the key. Sing more.
I was not created for artistic purposes.
Boy.
I am incapable of singing.
They're communicating, that's fun.
Noted.
And the crash site should be in here, and it should need power. How much power? 85. Not that much. Alright, so we need 1, 2, 3. We need to collect some biomass. Yeah, that'll be good enough. And so we fill these. And then we hook them up to each other. And then we hook them up to that. And we get the hard drive. And we take the whole thing down. Alright. Now, just south of this, there'll be another one, which I have silica, so I can get. And it should be... Alright. It should be, like, on this river here. Yeah, so this coast is going to turn into a river. And then the next thing should be right there. Yep. Oh, I think I remember this one. I had to spend like ages fighting to get it. Alright, I don't have the silica on me. Silica. Yoink. Okay, now we hop back in. And grab it. And we grab some turbo motors. And we get out. Alright, even further south, there's another one. Alright, let's see if I can spot it. It should be just on one of these islands somewhere. Where am I on the map? Okay, I'm going to zoom in a little bit. Alright, so there's one southeast and one southwest. So that's fine. Alright, we're going to have to get through some poison. Of course, because it's a swamp. Poison is everywhere. Okay, there's a Mercer Sphere. Hop over and grab that. Alright.
Follow the veins to the altar and chant.
Now... Alright, so there's a hard drive south. So I'm going to have to blow up more poison. And keep on moving. Okay, I see it. Just have to get there. Oh, and these little blobs are mycelium. That's helpful. And this is the actual hard drive out here, which uses heavy modular frames, which I have from another crash site. And any interesting loot? Not really. I'm just going to pick up this mycelium. This is probably like the easiest place to get mycelium right now. Alright, so now we need to head west for another crash site. Very slightly northwest. Which, ooh, that needs 25 turbo motors, and I have 15. Alright, we're skipping that one then. And we are going to move on to the one past it, which requires quartz crystals, which I have. Okay, just keep moving. That spider scared me, despite the fact that I know we're in passive mode. The freaking spiders, man. Alright, so the next one is like up here. Spiders are everywhere. Alright, yep, this is one that I haven't been to before. Let's get quartz crystals. There's a radioactive hog in there. Nothing I can do about that. Just gonna have to be quick. Do that. And we run. Okay, then... Can't get that. That's a lot of power. That's a lot of power. Alright, we are leaving the swamp. We are heading south. Now, the nice thing about the swamp is that despite it being like one of the worst places in the entire game, it is relatively flat. So leaving the swamp means we're gonna have to go up more hills and stuff. Alright. There's poison in here. I'm gonna die. Alright, I am very, very low on health. The swamp might be dangerous enough to kill you on passive mode, which is impressive. I'm gonna grab more of that and check if the man research finished. It did. Alright, automated speed wiring and copper rotors. Not really interested in either of those. Okay, let's see if this path can get us through without poison. Alright. We are almost out of the swamp. We're not out of the woods. In fact, we're just into the woods, pretty much. There's still a bunch of poison around. Alright. Where... There's like a ledge even further south with a hard drive on it that I can get. Yep, I see it now on my screen. Right there. There's also, for some reason, infinite poison pillars around this spot. Alright. Almost there. Going to get that. Bring it down and get up. And radiation. Why is there radiation? Why can't it just be easy? Alright, so let's ladder up there. And if there is radiation, hopefully we can just be in and out fast enough that it isn't a problem. Alright, grab it, grab it, grab it. And back out. Okay, we're clear. Let's see here. There is another one southeast that I can get. And then another one west of that. I should probably be like picking up food so that I don't starve to death. I also need to keep height because these next couple are also very tall. I can't wait to get the jetpack and be able to do all this significantly more easily. There's a poison flower there. I have to get rid of that to move through here safely. Alright, we are getting there. Hello, giant spider. I really should set like those to kitten mode so that I don't have to worry about them as much. They're still really creepy. Okay. Speaking of things that I have to worry about, that's a lot of poison flowers. Some poor spiders are going to get caught in the blast. That's like a lot of assorted threats for a pillar with nothing whatsoever like a value on it. So we need to head down to that pillar, or up to that pillar. Alright. And bridging we go. Alright, so then we bring that ladder down there. And a little further down. No, okay, that won't work. It goes into the cliff side. But it should work from here. Yep, we can get up. And I sure hope I remembered correctly that this was one that I could grab. Yep, it was free.
Fix-It engineers experimented with soft drives, but the prototypes all went missing. They were later located in the
Packaged liquid
toilets, being used
biofuel
as
is
towels.
something. Alright. And I guess we'll pick up those. We already have a bunch of them, but having more can't hurt. So the next one we can get is west of here, and it just requires some motors. So to get over there. Please. Let me place the foundation. Oh no. That was incredibly close to a catastrophe. But we live. So it is like on that thing there. Yep, I see it. Alright, let's just bridge over from here. It's definitely the simplest way of getting there. I have more than enough concrete. Let's do it. You see a Mercer sphere as well. I'm pretty sure this is a hole to the void underneath this. So make sure not to fall unless it's very intentional. Alright. So we have that. We have the ladder down. Get onto the ladder. And we extend it down another set. And we just barely make it onto this. Alright, anything of interest here? Some motors, some rubber. I'll take that. Use up some motors to get a hard drive. And let's see, where to next? There's one north of this, I guess. Yeah, there are a couple north that I can get. So let's put a foundation over there just so that it's not quite so precarious. And get back up here and continue sky bridging. Alright, let's grab that Mercer sphere first and then work our way up north to the next hard drive. Alright. Got it. The next hard drive is pretty much due north of this. Please let me get up. Alright. It's very awkward movement with these weird slopes that are like maybe standable, maybe not. That one looks like the answer would be not, so we're just going to climb up with a ladder. And unmanned research is finished. And we get molded steel pipes and molded steel beams. That's funny how that works. Set another one scanning. And let's see, the next one is up there. So let's get... Oh, I did not expect that to be quite as much of a drop as it was. Okay. That's kind of annoying because I'm kind of planning on using my height to make getting over there easier. So let's bridge on over. It is that. Yep. That's the one. And we bridge the rest of the way over. And then we get up there like so. Alright, up we go. We're gonna have to blow up some poison pods to get there. Somehow I missed both of those. Seems like I got scammed there. I was expecting it to get both of them. I got 0 of them. Alright. And then there's a couple more over here, because why not? More computers, more liquid biofuel. Use up some aluminum casings. I think we actually do need crystal oscillators for some of these. Alright, where to next? There's one slightly southwest that just requires a quick wire. Let's head to that. And it is a fair bit lower than me, so I'm going to lose some altitude here. Alright, down we go. We're gonna have to blow up that poison pillar first. And grab more obelisks. And get down to the surface. Yeah, okay, so we just need to head... I think we may have gone too far down here. That's fine. Oh, don't fall. Hey, look, Sam. That's fun. Alright, we need to get south, which is this way. We need to not stick around for too long in the radiation zone. And we should be getting pretty close to it now. Gonna climb up here. Did I just get, like, launched like crazy there? Or am I just, like, was I just seeing things? I feel like I jumped a lot further than normal. Alright, so it should be right here. Alright. Sorry about that. Alright, what next? Some of these require tons of power. Alright, if we head pretty far to the southwest, but it also looks like pretty easy going. There's one that just requires 30 megawatts of power. And it's just sort of like along this cliffside. Oh, hey, look, it's the blue crater. I've been here before. This is obviously where I set up a whole bunch of stuff. Ooh, a cave. Let's explore a cave, get a Mercer Sphere or a Summer Sleep, probably. Mercer Sphere, nice. Keeping that. Rank up to 7, which is not enough to do upgrades, but is enough to keep me going at this level for a while.
But perhaps you mean something akin to the human saying, "My point of origin is Earth. I was created by specific individuals of the human race."
Incompatible music.
Did I say something wrong, or did you not understand?
Still got a ways to go.
Cannot be shallow deep. The ripples you cast into the void have no skin.
See another
It
Mercer
seems I
Sphere.
may have said
Just
something
sitting out there.
paradoxical. Interesting.
Ugh. Those weird little ridges messed with my slide jump. Classic. Alright. Where are we at this point? I think we have passed it. We need to head west, maybe a little bit north. It's weird because like the easy landmarks on the interactive map are not are still fog of war on my map, so kind of a bit harder to tell what exactly is going on. Alright. How did that not blow up? It was literally right on top of it. Yeah, we went a decent ways too far south. Hoping something good is in these boulders. Just a blue power slug, not even like a good power slug. And there's poison everywhere. Alright. Now we are right on top of it. Should be just over here. Yep. Oh, poison plants. Goodbye. Alright, so we need 30 megawatts. Which is just one biofuel generator. somehow we have wound up with an empty crate again. Let's see, what of this is disposable? Like, a lot of this is useful. Don't need 3 screws, or 5 of those, or 30 of those. See, any of this interesting? Circuit boards are interesting. Stators, copper sheets, alright. Alright, if we find a cave in the blue crater, which I was unable to find in my previous game despite checking for a while, then we could do that. But it is also 4:57. And we've got basic iron infused quick wire. Alright, well, I think I'm going to call it there for today. Next stream we will meet back up here, probably do a bit more hard drive hunting, and then make it back to the hub and the space elevator to unlock the next phase and start our mega base. So yeah, see you guys then. I'm going to be playing Magic the Gathering tomorrow from 2 to 5 as usual. And then I'll be doing Satisfactory on Friday from 2 to 5. So yeah, make sure to